All right, we're here, week 8, Northwest. Is it Northwestern or Northwest?
Northwestern.
Northwestern Lehigh. They're second in the state for a reason. They haven't lost since their state championship game. Well, even before that. They were a very good team. They executed well. That's kind of the standard, probably what you guys want to strive to get to. You know, I think after that first series, you guys settled in a little bit. Then, you know, unfortunately, it was a little overwhelming. But your kids battled, and you know what's the good we could take out of this?
Little victories. Our offensive line played together, played well, played physical, gave the quarterbacks time, and we had some success in the middle quarters running the football with Max Clues. He had over 90 yards, 18 carries, very physical runner, which as you move forward, you start to find a little bit of an identity that was similar to what we had before. That was encouraging. Discouraging part is defensively we have to get better. You know, it doesn't matter that he's been a 3-year plus starter and he could throw, and he made some big time throws the other night. They have length in the perimeter. They have 2 running backs who are clones of one another. They played 16 games the last 2 years. They're the defending state champs. They play with tremendous confidence. And that's what, so much about this game of football is mindset and confidence and momentum, and they check all those boxes. So defensively, we have to continue to get better and get stops and get people off schedule. And we struggle with that at times. And, you know, we struggle with this things that we shouldn't. And that's the key as we move forward here is being better on defense, continuing to find some kind of consistency offensively, which I feel like we can. It takes one game to get that back. And the good thing is practices have been good. Energy level's been high. That has not changed or wavered. That's the disappointing part about this. But when you look at the whole scheme of things, we're one game off of where we were last year. One game. And certainly last year had a different feel than it does at this point. But it takes one game to get back on track. And, you know, and that's exactly what we intend to do. That's exactly the message we have to send to our players.
So before we move on, I just want to thank our sponsors. ET Trophy Shop has all of your trophy needs. It's fantasy football season, so you might want to stop in there, make sure that you have your trophy for the end of the year all squared away. You don't want to be caught last minute. March Lutz Advisors. Make sure to give Darren a call with any of your financial planning concerns. Also, without a doubt, had the biggest biceps in Rotary Little League history, so that is an important fact that everybody should know. LVHN, where setbacks become comebacks. Nothing is more evident than my son who went up there with a bump on the head. A week later, he is good to go. Penn Star Stone and Concrete, you name it, and they'll add stone to it. Phoenix Rehab, I don't need to remind you guys how they got me back to fighting shape, and I think I'm confident in saying that I will be ready for Turkey Bowl. Wiener Iron and Metal, they have all your recycling needs. If you have any cans or anything laying around, take it down there. I took a ride there a couple weeks ago, got some walking around, change in my pocket. Juliet Bridals, am I biased? Yes, that is my mom. She has all of your bridal, tuxedo, formal needs. She also offers alterations, which I know a lot of people are always looking for. So if you need some pants hemmed, a shirt brought in, it is all about the fit. Just a word to the wise there. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, it's how you're wearing it. So make sure you pay her a visit if you're in need of any of that. So again, thank you to all our sponsors. Without you, this isn't possible. Yeah, you know, we've talked about identity, and you know, I personally don't like this, but you guys are making districts, and right? I mean, that's
Yep.
So
there'll be a team, and we'll be.
You have 3 games here to figure out your identity. You know, it seems like Max Clues at running back is part of it. You know, in 3 weeks, everyone's going to be 0-0. So whether people like it or don't like it, you know, whatever record it is, you're in districts and it's a new season. So, you know, but I think as a coaching staff, you know, you have to kind of, you guys are going to have to hone in on that, which you guys are, and maybe you stick with Max Clues and add little wrinkles here and there and go with that.
Yeah, you know, we have to continue to do that, we feel, because again, that's closest to what our identity was before and how we can utilize our offensive line who competes every week. We feel like we are at any given time can break out in a pass game. You know, we feel like Christian Alvarez could have a big game at any time. We feel like Nakuda could have a big game at any time. We feel like Donovan Durham can. We feel like Colin McGinley can. You know, like those guys we feel like are right there. We know Shea Stankowski is you know, when he's involved in a pass game, he's taken on a more of a leadership role at tight end now with Max bouncing back to the backfield. But Max and Shea have really carried us throughout the year and been really consistent for us. Andrew's Andrew. I mean, he gets more and more reps every week. I mean, and better every week. You know, so it's just a matter of us having that breakout game with him, which he's had before. So there's a lot of moving parts. But like you said, we have Wilson coming up. You know, we have our rivalry games coming up, and then we have the playoffs. And if you look at last year, Lee Heighton finished the regular season on 3-7, wins a playoff game at Blue Mountain, and catapults them into being a better football team this year, clearly. So that's the kind of battles you have to strive for. You know, when you're in education, you're a teacher and a coach, you look at all these things that are positive. You look at all these things that where you're always moving the kids forward, because that's what you have to do. You can't teach them how to feel sorry for themselves. You can't teach them how to be negative. You got to teach them how to be positive and not feel sorry for themselves and always move forward. So that's what we have always done, and that's what we will continue to do. And you know, better days will come, and we have faith that we'll be better, and better days will certainly come for our program.
I know when I see, you know, whether it be the Steelers or Penn State, you know, the coach afterwards will say something, and it's just kind of like, myself, it's like, you know, kind of coach speak, but there's really not much else you can do. I mean, this is, you know, unfortunately, you know, this is peaks and valleys. We're in the valley right now, and this is a lesson that you are going to maybe call back on later in life, is how do you respond to this? And it is just showing up every day with enthusiasm, and that's hard. It gets hard when you're losing. Winning is more fun. That's no secret, but this is what, you know, you build character.
It's real life, and this is high school sports, and our guys work hard all year round, and they do other things. They have academics, they have SATs, they have other sports, they have issues with everything in their lives. Life is tough for a high school kid now. Tougher than when we came through.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they have those situations. So, and you have peaks and valleys. And certainly, like I said, right now we're not where we want to be, but it could be worse. We could have millions of dollars on our budget and be Penn State and go out and lose a little 4 team. So that's the way the nature of football.
It is.
And I'm everybody wants to see Pennsylvania win or Penn State win, mostly with geographical respect, but at the end of the day, this is a very tough game, and it's very competitive, and it's real life lessons, and kids' lives don't stop on Friday nights like we think they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's just part of it. So we have to teach them, because they're all moving on to bigger and better things, whether it's a few months from now or a few years from now. And I've learned over the years, it's my responsibility how to guide them and lead them through this turbulence. And that's what it is right now. It's hard. It's hard to walk into school. It's hard to walk to practice. It's hard to, you know, because, you know, we certainly all want to be better and expect to be better, and we demand to be better, and that's never going to change. You know, our goal is to win football games here and to teach our kids lessons and to check all the boxes, not just some of the boxes. And that's what we'll continue to do. I've done it for a long time, and, you know, some things are out of your control, and we have a little bit of that this year, and some things are in our control, and that's what we have to grasp onto moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think just from the top on down, because I know this is silly, but like, hey, it's more fun to do this radio show when we're winning. So,
no doubt, sure.
You know, I say to myself, like, hey, you got to keep that same enthusiasm, because, you know, the tens of people who watch this show on Facebook, I want to give them a good product. And, you know, for a football team, you want to go out there and put your best foot forward. And for the seniors, and, you know, when you think about a football season, it's not that long. You really have 10 games of regular season, and they stick with you forever. You know, like I look back, you know, on our high school career, and it's like, really wasn't that long, you know, and boy, that sticks. So
it does,
you know.
Yep, and you know, the more I've found over the years, we're in a business of problem solving, all right, and we're in a business of mentoring and guiding.
Yeah.
You know, because they're watching all the time. I hear them saying the things that I say, and they're watching the way you know. That's why when I walk in the field, it's that couple hour, and I taught them this, like whatever it is they do, whether it's their job or a sport now. When you walk onto the field for that 2 hours, it's your time.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about anything else. You don't have to worry about anything else, and that's your time to do what you're doing. So, and that's just the way we sort of act. Whereas we'll go out with energy, you know, all week, and we'll go out with as much energy as we can on Saturday. We have an extra day this week to get prepped, And we look forward to the challenge in the process. And you start to embrace the challenge of times like this too as well. And it's very rewarding when you turn the corner and when you pull yourself out of it.
Now, Wilson, they haven't won a game in a while, right?
Yeah, you know, they haven't won yet this year. You know,
But we talked about that. That's a different challenge.
Sure.
You know, they're looking at, you know, getting their first win.
Yeah.
So that's a dangerous team. You know,
Extremely.
you don't want to just show up there and think.
You know, you're going out on a Saturday. You know, it's a noon game Saturday. It's an early morning departure. Most of our kids have not played here before. It's a long trip, and you got to think they're looking at us like, okay, this team's struggling to score points right now.
Yeah.
And you know, they'll see a team that played 4 quarters with Southern Lehigh, then also see a team who's struggling to score points.
Yeah.
And play, you know, so they're going to look at us and say, okay, well, we got them at home, let's go. You know, so that's the message to us is like, we have to play. Like, this is a challenge. I said every game's a challenge. This game's a challenge as well. So, you know, but it's an opportunity for us to get better. It's an opportunity for us to leave with confidence. And that's exactly what we have to do. Make no mistake about it. We have to have a great game and play our great game and have that similar feeling we had with Bangor when we leave Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, that streak's going to come to an end one day. You don't want to be the team that ends it.
And there's athletes. They have athletes there. It's just, you know, they've struggled to put it all together.
Now, what is, I don't want to say the key, but how do you build forward going here? How do we build on those little victories to make it a bigger victory?
Faith, belief, defend. We have to play physical on the defensive side of the football. You know, we have to keep people and get people off schedule. They can't be in 3rd and 2s, and that's been our problem. They're in 3rd and 2s, and you know, we need physicality, run support from our back half. We can't let somebody throw a ball over our head. It's happening too often. Like, you know, we have to be better back there. We have to be better defensively. That's the start. If you could defend, we'll find a rhythm offensively. We showed signs. And then offensively, you know, it's built off running the ball for us, but we have to have guys step up in the pass game. We have got to have guys make plays. All right, Andrew's got to get his feet going. Andrew's got to get going. We have to, you know, make sure we get him in space a little bit and put it all together and have some fun. You know, have 48 minutes of fun and get ourselves ready for our stretch run.
All right, Coach. Well, roll Tide.
Thank you.
And
Roll
good
Tide,
luck.
Alfredo.